Hi everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. So this video is one I am excited but nervous about because I'm going to be reading BookTok books for a week. I've actually been watching BookTube videos for a lot longer than I've been on BookTok, but I've been posting on BookTok for a lot longer than I've been on BookTube. There are a lot of other popular books on BookTok, but they either are books I've already read or books I have saved for another video. But let me show you the books on this week's TBR. First up, possibly one of the most famous BookTok books is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I am very nervous to read this book. I don't know a lot about it other than it's a Greek mythology retelling, it's got Achilles in it, and it makes a lot of people cry. So that should be fun to read. We have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is women in STEM romance, and again, that's all I know about it. I think she accidentally kisses her professor and it's Grumpy Sunshine as well, but I'm not too sure on that. This was sent to me by my friend Ellen and I cannot wait to read it. Then we have Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. I've heard this is a really dark book. A deeply moving portrait of a girl in a world that owes her nothing yet has taken so much and her long journey back from the edge. Okay, yeah, so it sounds really dark. Again, I know nothing about this book other than people were saying check trigger warnings. So I'm nervous for this one, but I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy it. Not enjoy it, but really like it. We've got Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I think this got popular because everyone was wondering why a romance book was nearly 600 pages long. But then when people read it, they were really enjoying it. So I'm excited because I like big books. I'm a Stephen King fan, so I have to like big books, really. I mean, I'm working my way through this book, so that should be nothing. But I've heard this is small town romance, which I'm a big fan of, so I'm excited to get to it. And finally we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I heard about this on BookTube a couple of years ago. I think it's part of the Brown Sisters trilogy. Knowing me, I'm probably going to enjoy it so much that I'll have to buy the next two books. I think Chloe Brown has a bucket list to get a life and she meets a guy that's going to help her complete everything on the bucket list. I'm pretty sure. I'm going into these books pretty blind because I enjoy doing it that way. And that is the stack of books I'm going to read this week. I'm sensing a blue theme. I think it looks really pretty. But let's get on to the video and I'm going to start reading these books. I think I'm going to start with A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller because this is the most popular one as far as I'm aware. Normally when I start a sad book, the thing I'm most worried about is that it's going to make me sad and make me cry. But with this one, I'm more worried what will happen if I don't like it. Because there is so much hype around this book that if I don't enjoy it, I'm going to be scared to admit it. But I'm going to be honest with you, so I will admit it. So today is Monday, I'm going to be reading these throughout the week, and I'm going to go get started on The Song of Achilles. I will come back to you when I have some first impressions to talk to you about. So the starting line is, my father was a king and the son of kings. He was a short man, as most of us were, and built like a bull, all shoulders. He married my mother when she was 14 and sworn by the priestess to be fruitful. It was a good match. She was an only child and her father's fortune would go to help her husband. So, sounds interesting. Yes, it is Greece in the Age of Heroes. It's Patroclus and Achilles, I think. So this should be fun. So I've just started A Song of Achilles. I am about 4 chapters in and I'm really enjoying the writing style and the story so far. So when Patroclus is 9, his dad takes him to go and basically get chosen by this girl's dad to be the girl's husband. But he's 9. But I mean, it's Greek mythology, you gotta remember that. And there's a kind of ritual to say that the woman will get to choose who her husband is. And he's like, this has never happened before. The woman never gets to choose. And then later on, a boy is teasing him and saying that his dad calls him a coward. And Patroclus knows that his dad would say something like that. He knows it's true. So he pushes the boy in anger and the boy falls over, cracks his head open and dies. His family want Patroclus to be exiled as punishment, basically. And in their kingdom, death is better than exile, but his dad agrees to exile him because it would be cheaper for him to be sold off as an orphan than to have a funeral. And he gets exiled to the kingdom where Achilles is. So they're interacting. Patroclus does not like Achilles at the moment, but I have a feeling that they end up in love. I don't know, so that's not a spoiler, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Okay, so it is the next day and I have about 100 pages left of The Song of Achilles. Maybe less, a bit less than that, maybe 80 pages. I am loving this book so much. I love the way it's written. I love the storyline. It's so... I can't put into words how much I like it. If you were ever put off reading from this book because you thought you didn't know enough about Greek mythology, read it. It explains anything that it talks about. It's not any sort of deep thing that you wouldn't understand, and it is beautiful. However, it's Tuesday and it's Valentine's Day, and I know this book is going to end in heartbreak. That's not a spoiler, that's what I've seen people say, and I don't really want to cry my eyes out today. So I don't think I'm going to finish it today. I think I'm going to take a break and I'm going to finish it tomorrow because I don't need to be crying my eyes out on Valentine's Day. So I'm on chapter 32. I've got maybe 20 pages left, and just the way that this book is written makes it even more sad. At the beginning of this book, I was worried that I wouldn't be moved by it and I would have to come back and tell you that I didn't enjoy it. And it's so sad. I've been trying to compose myself to make this update, and I wanted to come on before the ending just in case the ending wrecked me. But I went through this book thinking I knew what the sad thing was going to be, and then it did not happen in the way that I expected. I also thought it was going to end with the sad thing, but it hasn't ended, so maybe there's another sad thing, and I don't know if I'm prepared for that. But I'm gonna finish this and get back to you with my rating. So I just finished The Song of Achilles, and this is a 5-star read. If I go into too much detail, I'm gonna start crying again. So this is such a beautifully written book. It was amazing. It was heartbreaking. And it was so sad. Why did I not read this sooner? That was so good. It's a 5-star read. It's amazing. I don't think I'll ever forget about this book. I didn't think that that was going to be the ending, but I can't imagine it ending any other way, really. It just made so much sense, and it really wrapped the story up. Okay, I need to put this book down before I start crying again. I am going to read a light-hearted book next. I am not reading Girl in Pieces next. I need a light read. I think I'm going to read The Love Hypothesis because I just need a cute, sweet read that's not going to make me cry. I'm going to go compose myself. I'm going to read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and I will get back to you with some first impressions in a bit. I just recorded that whole thing and it wasn't even recording. In the last clip, I said I would update you when I read the first couple chapters to give you my initial thoughts. So it's a few hours later and I'm 250 pages in. I didn't even want to stop to record this update. But this is so good. It's addicting. It's grumpy sunshine, workplace romance, fake dating. I love all the characters apart from one, but I won't tell you who because that would be a spoiler. And I am just enjoying this so much. It's about 9 p.m, but I am sure I'm going to be able to finish this tonight because I'm just going to end this and keep on reading. This book has potential to be another 5-star read. So far, I am trusting BookTok's recommendations because this is good. And I still can't get The Song of Achilles out of my mind. That was phenomenal. So it is the next day and I did end up finishing The Love Hypothesis last night, and this is a 5-star read. I loved it from start to finish. I have found another new book boyfriend, and it was such a fun time. Overall, this was a very sweet, very funny rom-com, and I just loved it so much. The fact that Olive also was aware of romance tropes was just so funny. It was kind of like breaking the fourth wall. And that was just another aspect of this book that I really enjoyed. Thank you so much, Ellen, for sending this to me. It was so good. I can't wait till you finished it for yourself so that we can talk about it. But yeah, so far, both books I've read in this video have been 5-star reads. Maybe BookTok's onto something. Today I'm going to be reading Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book and it's been on my radar for years. As far as I'm aware, our main character, Chloe, I assume, has a near-death experience where she nearly gets hit by a car and she realises that if she were to die, her life would be very boring and very ordinary, and she wants to change that. So she makes a list of things she wants to do to get alive. And it sounds really fun. I assume that this guy over here helps her finish the list. I am very excited to start this. I'm going to get back to you and let you know what I think of it. So today is Friday and I read Get a Life Chloe Brown in one sitting yesterday. Did not even stop to update you guys, which again, I'm very sorry. But it was really enjoyable. It's kind of grumpy sunshine in reverse. Like, she's grumpy, she's a bit snooty, but throughout the book you learn that she's not being grumpy because she's mean, she's being grumpy because she's got chronic pain. She's chronically ill, and she says that the first thing to go when she's in pain is her politeness. Either way, I was right. She makes a list to get a life, and Red helps her complete the list. And she goes from reluctantly talking to him to falling in love with him. And it is a really sweet story. I cannot wait to continue this trilogy because I've already met the two sisters in this book that have their own books and I love them both so much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rate this 4 stars. It was a really enjoyable, I'd say it was a rom-com. It was really interesting to read about chronic illness as well. She's got fibromyalgia, I think that's how you say it, and it's just interesting to see when she knows that she's gonna faint or when she knows that she's in pain, and the way she describes it is just eye-opening. But yeah, I rated it 4 stars. It was very enjoyable. However, I have a dilemma. So I was going to be reading Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow in this vlog. I posted on TikTok to see if it was gonna actually be as dark as everyone was saying. And there were some mixed reviews. Some people saying they had to DNF it, some people saying it's not as dark, some people saying it's very dark. And I looked it up, and pretty much in the synopsis it says that she copes with the stuff that's bad going on in her life by self-harming, and that is just not a book I want to read right now. It's not a book I want to read right now. It's also not a book that I would probably do a reading vlog of because very dark, very sensitive topic. So instead I'm going to read a book that is arguably a lot more BookTok famous, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I started reading this book a couple of years ago, but that was when I was exclusively reading thrillers. That was the only genre I was already reading, so I put it down about halfway through. But I think this is the book I've seen the most out of any other book on BookTok and BookTube collectively. It's a rom-com set in the workplace. I think they're both writers. I think it's rivals to lovers as well. I don't remember pretty much any of it, so I am going to start from the beginning, but I thought this would be a lot more enjoyable, fun, quick read. I'm still going to read this at some point, but it's just not for me right now. I am on page 5 of The Hating Game, and let me read you a quote that I just read. Imagine it's 2 minutes before the biggest interview of your life, and you look down at your white shirt. Your peacock blue fountain pen has leaked through your pocket. Your head explodes with an obscenity, and your stomach is a spike of panic over the shimmering nerves. You're an idiot, and everything's ruined. That's the exact colour of Joshua's eyes when he looks at me. So this book either falls on the cute or cringy side, and I already have a feeling I'm gonna think it's cringy. Because why'd she just spend a paragraph talking about his eyes? I thought they hated each other. She's saying she hates him. And then the next line is, I wish I could say he's ugly. He should be a short, fat troll with a cleft palate and watery eyes, a limping hunchback, warts and zits, yellow cheese teeth and onion sweat. But he's not. He's pretty much the opposite. More proof that there's no justice in this world. So I am on page 75, and I've decided to start tabbing every time she calls herself short. So far we've got quite a few. You can't really see on camera. But there are 12 tabs so far, and I'm only that much of the way through, so let's see what the total count is at the end. Also might watch the movie to see how good it is, because I remember that when the trailer came out, it gave the whole plot away. But those are my thoughts so far. It's interesting. I mean, I'm enjoying it, it's funny, but I don't know if I'm laughing because it's actually funny or laughing because it's so cringy. Today is Saturday and I finished The Hating Game by Sally Thorne last night. I think I'm gonna rate this one 3 stars. It was cute, funny, but very cringy. I don't know if I told you, but I tabbed every time she called herself short, and there were a lot of tabs, let's just put it that way. I don't know if you can see that, but every single one of those tabs is her either calling herself tiny or making a joke about how tall someone is next to her or how dainty she is. I just could not get on board with that. It was just so cringy. Yeah, this is a kind of rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers, workplace romance. His nickname for her is Shortcake because her family owns a strawberry farm, but she's also short. And that's basically her whole personality, how short she is and how much she hates him, but doesn't actually hate him because she's really attracted to him, but she's in denial. It was fun, it was quick, it was cute, but it wasn't more than 3 stars. But now we are on to the last book, and the one I think I'm most excited for, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. The sequel is coming out in a few days, I think. But this is a small town romance. I think it's Grumpy Sunshine. So I'm pretty sure this book starts with our main character running away from her wedding on her wedding day to go and help her sister out, and then her sister steals her car and leaves her with a niece who she didn't even know existed. And I know the main guy's called Knox, and he's very grumpy and very manly and very caveman, I think. Anyway, but I'm gonna read this today. It is a big romance book. It's 500 on something pages. I have a feeling that there's going to be a bit more to it than just romance because of the whole thing with his sister and why she left her wedding and whatever happened. I'll let you know what I think of it. I think I'm going to get it up on my Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited. I've just woken up, if it was not obvious, and today is Sunday, so I need to get this book finished today. I have some thoughts. I'm almost 300 pages into it and I am loving it so much. It is so funny. I've been laughing out loud at some bits. Her parents are hilarious. My first thought is, what is it with him peeing off his deck so casually? Like, he has a toilet in his house. Why did he go outside and pee onto a tree? Like, what was that? I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of like, it's fake dating, but they're also hooking up, so it's friends with benefits, and I don't really know. I'm enjoying this so much, and I'm definitely going to be picking up the sequel. I'm so glad it comes out later this month. This has potential for 5 stars again, which means that BookTok is doing pretty well with the recommendations. So I've just finished Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, and this is a 5-star read. It was amazing. So it is a romance, but it is also so much more than that. It's about learning to love, learning to know your worth and to let your guard down. There were so many secrets and family drama, and it was so entertaining. It was such a whirlwind. I cried at some bits just because of how attached I got to these characters. And I love Knox so much. I also love Naomi so much. I just love all of them. And that's the last book I'm reading for this video, so I think I'm going to do a wrap up of all the books I've read. So we started off with The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I rated this 5 stars. It made me sob. It was heartbreaking. It was beautiful, and it was just a really great time, but also painful. Then I read The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood, and again I rated it 5 stars. This was so good, so fun. One of the best rom-coms I think I've ever read. It was it was entertaining on a whole nother level. Then I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, and I rated this 4 stars. It's reverse Grumpy Sunshine. It was really fun. It was interesting to read about chronic illness and chronic pain. I think this cover is so cute. Look at it. Oh my god. Then I read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I rated it 3 stars because it was entertaining, but it was just way too cringy for my liking, and the whole I'm so short and tiny was just a bit much. And I finished with Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I rated this 5 stars. It was such a fun time. I loved it so much, and I need to read more of Lucy Score's books. Most of them are on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to be downloading a whole lot of them after this video. If I were to rate these from favourite to least favourite, it would be this order. I love The Song of Achilles the most, and not that The Hating Game was bad in any means, but the rest were just so much better. Overall, these were all such a good, fun time. I've had so much fun reading BookTok books, and I definitely trust most of their recommendations. Let's see if I can hold all these up for a thumbnail. Okay, we'll see if any of that makes it in. But I think that is all from me today. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe because I'm making videos every single week. But I think that is it. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!